Winter jumps off the bed, but before she can hit the ground, Sihu catches her. Their faces nearly touch. That was a dangerous move, he tells her. She argues, "You're more dangerous." Screaming, she asks, "How could you possibly come into a room where a woman is sleeping alone?" He gently reminds her, "You are the one that came into my room, not the other way around." She doesn't believe him, thinking he's joking. "When did I then?" She looks around the room and realizes this is not the guest room she went to originally. Last night, in the middle of the night, she got thirsty and went to get a glass of water. Without turning any of the lights on, she went back to bed in the wrong room. Sihu jokes, "Did you want to sleep with me that badly? If you want, you can lie next to me and I'll keep you warm." These comments make her blush. Her face burning red, she sprints out of the room, screaming, "No thanks. I'll go to my room and sleep there." She slams the door behind her as she leaves. She is so embarrassed. How did this happen? Why did I go into his room, into his bed? I look like such a scoundrel now. If it's possible, I hope to forget today. Later, Winter meets with a friend at a restaurant and decides to take a break from work until she fully recovers. Her friend grills the meat. The manager at work has been depressed, the friend says, but Winter argues that this happens so often it's nothing special. "Even though you lost your memory, I'm glad you're well, and you didn't forget me," her friend says. Winter replies, "We've known each other for 9 years, it's not possible to forget you." She then asks her friend what she thinks her relationship was like with her husband. Her friend tells her how romantic they were, how they couldn't stay away from each other, and how it was wonderful, like watching a romantic drama. They were so sweet together. Winter can't believe it. Me in love with him. Her friend reminds Winter of a time when she was crying that fate had kept them apart, but now that they are together, nothing will bring them apart again. Winter has hit her limit. The blood drains from her face. Me, crying over him. Never. Her friend confirms that they met in childhood, were each other's first love, and met by chance, and started dating again just like Sihu said. Winter is still trying to wrap her head around this. It hurts to think about, and she smashes her head into the table. "Everyone is telling me that I loved that scoundrel. I still remember absolutely nothing." Another friend comes in and gently pats her on the head. It's Jo-hyun. He asks if Winter is doing okay and what her condition is. As she lifts her head from the table, he sees the red mark. "Are you fine?" "It's just from smashing my head into the table earlier," she replies. As Jo-hyun goes to touch her, her other friend says, "Hey, it's inappropriate to touch a married woman so casually." To change the topic, Jo-hyun asks what they were previously talking about. They go back to talking about her husband. They talk about how their dating lives are failing, but Winter, after only 3 months, got married. At first they thought it was strange, shocking even, but in the end he turned out to be rich, handsome and a loving man. They have so much envy. They want a relationship like that. He treats her so well. It's hard to be around them. They're such lovebirds, sticking to each other, her friend says. Winter sighs. "I still can't wrap my head around it." She's completely zoned out as the other two bicker about their lives. Snapping her out of her daze, they ask, "Why aren't you wearing your ring? Won't it upset your husband?" Looking down at her hand, Winter realizes that after the accident, she never remembered seeing a ring on her hand. Maybe my husband took it off. She tries to brush it off, saying, "I probably lost it in the accident, and I can't remember anyway." "Shame, it was an expensive ring," her friend remarks. Winter has so many thoughts in her head. She doesn't want to talk about this anymore. She picks up a bottle, brings it to her lips, and starts drinking from it. Her friends scream for her to stop. "You've just been discharged a few days ago. You can't be drinking like that." They try to stop her. After the drinking incident, they call Sihu to come pick her up. When he arrives, they call him over. "She's over here, she drank too much." When Sihu sees how Jo-hyun is holding her, he doesn't like it and goes to take her away. He doesn't like other men touching his woman. "I'll carry her from here," he says, taking her in his arms. By the time they arrive home, Winter has fallen asleep, and Sihu carries her inside and lays her on the bed. He looks at her lovingly, admiring her delicate features. He inches closer, wanting to kiss her, but stops himself, remembering his promise not to force himself on her. Instead, he rests his forehead against hers, tucks her into bed, and gently kisses her forehead before leaving the room, whispering how much he loves her. Once he's gone, Winter opens her eyes, her face turning bright red as she contemplates what just happened. Sihu, now alone, drinks wine and looks out at the view from their apartment. He knew she was pretending to be drunk but found it amusing and wants to play along with her. The next morning, Winter wakes up with a pounding headache, feeling the worst hangover ever. Drawn by a delicious smell, she follows it to the kitchen where she finds Sihu wearing a pink, frilly apron. She wonders if she's still dreaming. Sihu, worried about her hangover, is cooking her soup. Despite insisting she's not hungry, her stomach growls loudly, betraying her. Embarrassed, Winter watches as Sihu laughs, finding her honest stomach endearing. He serves her a bowl of soup, and they sit down to eat together. Sihu suggests they have breakfast together every day. When Winter questions if they used to do this, he lies and says they did, but she knows better. The last time he ate breakfast was years ago. As she tastes the food, she's amazed by how delicious it is, and can't help but shovel it into her mouth. Sihu asks her to stop talking formally to him, reminding her there's only a 2-year age gap. She argues that 2 years is significant since she's in her 20s and he's in his 30s. While eating, he notices a bit of rice on her lips and reaches to clean it off, making her blush and insist she can do it herself next time. He then inquires about her plans for the weekend, suggesting they go see a movie together. It's been a while since we went on a date, he says. Winter slams her cup on the table. Why do we have to go on a date? Sihu, unfazed by her outburst, smiles warmly. Because my love, it's important for us to spend time together and rekindle our relationship. We used to enjoy going out together. I just want us to have some normalcy and maybe help you regain your memories. Winter looks away, feeling a mixture of frustration and confusion. She doesn't understand how her life could have changed so much in a year. I don't remember any of this, she mutters. I know, Sihu says gently, but I'm here for you, Winter. We can take this one step at a time. I'll be patient, and I won't rush you. I just want to make you happy. His sincerity disarms her. Winter stops and takes a deep breath. Can I be honest, she asks. Of course, Sihu replies gently. You should feel comfortable to speak freely. Winter takes another deep breath and says, I just genuinely can't believe that we're married. I never intended to marry in the first place, let alone marry you. Sihu looks concerned. Why do you think like this? Internally, Winter thinks, because I hate you, but she says instead, you're just not my type. I don't like handsome men. She realizes how ridiculous her statement sounds and rambles on about how she prefers messy guys with rare faces who aren't handsome and who are a bit rude. Sihu listens carefully and then says, I'll do it. I'll become your type. Just tell me what you want me to change. Winter is stunned. Is he crazy, she thinks. She goes back to eating, trying to ignore his sincerity. Sihu continues, from the first moment we met, I always thought you were beautiful. Embarrassed once more, Winter can't understand how he can say such things without hesitation. He recounts the first time they met, teasing her about how she said he looked like an uncle she knew. Was that your way of flirting? He asks with a playful smile. You've always been a bit of a naughty girl. She stands up, shocked. What are you saying? I wasn't flirting with you. I was just pointing out a fact. Composing herself, she decides she doesn't want to talk about the past anymore. It's not really a memory I want to remember, she says. Sihu agrees and begins to clean up the dishes. Let's forget everything about the past and start anew, he suggests. Before leaving the room, he reminds her, I'll be late today because of work. Don't wait up, go to sleep first. As the day goes on, Winter searches through the cupboards and shelves, trying to find a book that might help jog her memory. She makes a mess of the room, everything strewn about. It looks like a robber has been through the house. Then, a picture catches her eye. It's her wedding photo. She looks so happy in it. Remembering Sihu's words from that morning, she thinks about starting anew. But it's easier said than done. There are many memories she doesn't remember, and too many memories she does. Looking around the room, she spots a photo album on another shelf. She sits down and begins to look through the pictures. She sees many childhood photos with her younger brother, hoping they will help her remember. Flipping through the album, she doesn't find any wedding photos but comes across a photo from a sports day when they were younger. She wonders if they were always meant to be together, back when they could laugh comfortably with each other. Suddenly the scene shifts back in time to when she was still in school, just before she dropped out. She's in the nurse's office, her cheek patched up from an injury. As she slides the door open, Sihu is on the other side. He looks at her, not saying a word, just staring at her injury. She storms past him, looking down. Sihu grabs her elbow, pulling her back. "Why aren't you fighting them? Why are you letting them hurt you like this?" She screams, "Why do you even care? You shouldn't interfere with my business anymore." Grabbing her arm once more, he tells her, "I'm worried about you. I might just die from worrying." She's furious. "Why are you acting like this? You ignored me. What is this pretend behavior?" Winter begs him to let go of her hand and leave her alone. Sihu tries to come closer and touch her, but she hits his hand away and storms off. Our female lead was subjected to severe bullying. We see her in the sports storage cupboard lying on the floor, bloody and bruised, while 3 other students look down at her. She looks lifeless, and they find no fun in it anymore, deciding to leave her there. As they exit, they remind her that she has to clean up before she goes. Winter lies there, feeling like she can't even lift a finger, thinking she might pass out and wondering if it would be better if she just disappeared. Suddenly, she smells something burning. The room is engulfed in flames, likely from the cigarettes the bullies were smoking earlier. Realizing she has to get out, she finds the door locked and barricaded. In a last-ditch effort, she screams, hoping someone will hear her. Breathing becomes difficult due to the smoke, and she falls to the ground, trying not to lose consciousness. Just when she thinks all hope is lost, the door bursts open. Another student screams at her to help her out, risking their own safety. The fire department arrives, and we cut to Winter in the hospital. The doctor informs her that it will be difficult to breathe for a while, and she'll cough a lot, but with regular medication, she'll be fine. Winter asks about the person who saved her, and the doctor tells her that he suffered serious back burns and requested anonymity. Sitting alone in her hospital bed, Winter reflects on how close she came to death. For the first time, she realizes she wants to live and fight for her survival. Thankfully, after that day, the bullying stopped. The students responsible were transferred to another school, bringing peace to hers. It's the first of the year, and the snow has come early. Winter notices a man outside the school wearing a suit. It's Sihu. She wonders why he's there. He runs up to her and hugs her tightly, leaving her confused. When she asks why he's hugging her, he says he has nothing to say, but his voice sounds like he's crying. After releasing her from the hug, he walks away, saying he'll see her later. Winter is left baffled by the encounter, noting the scent of perfume mixed with cigarette smoke on him. Did he get taller? His hairstyle looks different. Concerned but deciding not to worry, she hurries back home. The school year continues peacefully, and Winter turns 18. Her teacher asks about her plans, and she's adamant about leaving school. She apologizes, saying she would like to stay, but there's nothing else she can do. Winter's mother has been hospitalized ever since she injured her back in the accident. Now, Winter works as a janitor, doing all she can to pay for her mum's hospital expenses, as well as her younger brother's school fees and a settlement for a fight he got into. Her financial responsibilities are overwhelming, and she decides she must leave school to afford everything. Her teacher asks her to reconsider her decision for a few more days before making it final. Winter leaves the school and returns home, only to find her mum with unexpected news. Her mum tells her she doesn't have to work anymore and doesn't need to drop out of school. Winter is worried, thinking her mum might have taken on more work despite her recent hospitalization. but her mum pulls out a bank account statement showing a balance of 10 million won. Winter is shocked and asks whose money it is. Her mum replies that it came from someone she knows. Skeptical and concerned, Winter fears her mum was tricked into borrowing from a stranger. She begs her mum to be honest, and her mum reveals that the money came from Sihu. Winter is furious. She can't believe her mum accepted money from him, given that his family was responsible for her father's death. Angry, Winter storms out, determined to return the money. She finds Sihu and shoves the bank book into his chest, declaring she doesn't need his money. He calmly tells her that her pride shouldn't prevent her from accepting help and insists they need to talk. He reminds her of their family's dire situation and mentions the rumors at school that she's planning to work in a bar. He offers his sponsorship instead. Enraged, Winter punches him in the face, tears brimming in her eyes. She runs away before he can say anything else. After that incident, she left school, found a job, and moved homes. As Winter reminisces about these memories, she feels depressed and overwhelmed. She needs to clean up the mess she made before Sihu comes home. These were memories she wanted to forget, but they still haunt her. Sihu was her first kiss, her first love, and the first person to humiliate her to the point of wanting to die. Later in the evening, Sihu comes home from work, shocked to find Winter still awake, sitting on the sofa. She tells him she has something important to discuss. Despite his suggestion to wait until morning, she insists on addressing it now. She explains that she's been thinking all day about how they fell in love and ended up together, but she still doesn't understand it. To her, Sihu is someone she can't stand to be around. He brings up painful memories she wants to forget. She feels suffocated and believes that without her memories of the past year, she'll be stuck in the past forever, which she can't bear. Sihu tries to comfort her, assuring her that her memory will return. She cuts him off, questioning if he truly believes that. What if it takes 1 year, 5 years, or never happens? She confesses that she doesn't think she can ever love him again. Heartbroken, Sihu is at a loss for words. Stammering, Winter finally says she wants a divorce.